What's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. I'm Nick, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my Audi A4. This is a 2007 A4 with a 2.0T FSI motor in it. I bought this car in June of 2018, and it had about 140,000 miles on it. Now it has like 190,000 miles, which is kind of a lot, but it still runs and drives great. So over the almost 3 years of owning this car, I've made some changes to it. When I got it, I liked it, but like any car person, I had to make it my own. So I could talk about this car for hours, but I'm just gonna start off with the small stuff. I'll just run through that, and then I'll go a bit more in depth about the bigger, more exciting things that I've done. So to start off, I replaced the fog lights with LED yellow fog lights. This is no rally car by any means, but I do love the look of yellow fogs at night. I mean, I think they look good on pretty much almost any car. So that was just a simple, cheap upgrade that I did, like 20 bucks off Amazon. So the next thing I did was I replaced the shift boot. The car came with this really beat up and ugly shift boot. So I went to Black Forest Industries website and I found one. I love it. It's black leather and it has red stitching. It's all handmade, so it's super high quality, super easy install. I got a video about that from like a year ago, so you can go check that out. But this shift boot was definitely a must, and it just changes the interior of the car, makes it just look a lot better. So the next thing I did that really helped the look of the interior of the car is I wrapped all the trim pieces in a carbon fiber vinyl. I got the wrap from a company called R Vinyl. It was pretty easy to install, but I do have to say you can't really do this without a heat gun. The heat gun just loosens up the vinyl and helps it form to all the curves and different edges of all the pieces of trim. The car comes stock with this like wood grain trim that's like super old man looking, and it just kills the vibe of the inside of the car. So I had to change that out, and it looks a lot better now. So this next thing I thought was super cool, but I thought other people might think it's kind of cheesy. Most people actually love it. So I replaced all the lights that are on the bottom of the door with these lights that project the Audi logo, and it says Audi on the ground when it's dark out. I saw it on like social media or something. I thought it was awesome. I looked it up. They're like 20 bucks off Amazon, so I just ordered them. So the next thing and the most recent thing I did was I installed a duckbill or trunk spoiler, whatever you want to call it. I wanted one of these for a while, but I could never really find one that I liked. They don't make many for this car, but I found one from this company called Spoiler King. It is a little expensive for a piece of rubber with double-sided tape that you just stick onto your trunk, but I really like it. It looks awesome, and it's held up a lot better than I thought. I thought after a few months it would start to fall off or the tape wouldn't stick as well. It's definitely worth it, and I love the look of it on the car. It's not too much, but it's not like completely unnoticeable. So this was one of the first things I did to the car, and that's the RS4 style front grille. I did this right away because I saw it on so many other Audis, and I was just like, I need that. So I found it. It was not too expensive. It was like 200 bucks. I've got a lot of comments asking where I got it from, so I'll leave the link for that down in the description, along with all the other parts that I've got. So this next thing isn't really an upgrade, but I had to do it because the old ones broke. About a year ago, I started hearing weird knocking noises under hard accelerations, and sure enough, my motor mounts were broke. So I got the RS4 motor mounts and stump mount from ECS Tuning. It was a little more expensive than the OEM ones, but I figured it'd be better to put in the upgraded version rather than OEM. Those are pretty easy to install. The link for them will be in the description too. So the last little thing I did was I put in sequential blinkers, not like actually in the headlights, but on this car there's blinkers on the side of the car, kind of by the passenger and driver's side door. So I found these on Euro Tuning. They were like 25 bucks. Super easy install. I have a video all about them, all about the install, so go check that out after this one. Okay, so now moving on to the bigger and more exciting things that I've done to this car. One of my favorite things about almost any car is the exhaust. So this car came with a test pipe, which is pretty much just a cat delete. I'm not exactly sure how I pass emissions, but I don't really ask questions. The car also came with a MagnaFlow catback. It sounded pretty good, but like I wanted a little bit more out of it. So I went to an exhaust shop and had them chop out the resonators. I did have this car also straight pipe for like a week, but it was just so obnoxious and sounded terrible. So I went back and had them put back in the mufflers. So right now this car is pretty much just one straight pipe all the way from the motor all the way down, and then right before the tailpipes it's got two high flow mufflers, and that's it. So next, the thing that could make or break pretty much any car, the wheels. These wheels are Myro 111s. I bought these for my Mark 6 GTI that I had before this. That car was white, so I got those wheels in a matte black color. They looked great on a white car, but they look absolutely terrible on this car. So just a few months after getting this car, I went and I got these wheels powder coated to the hyper silver color that they are now. Like I said, these rims are Myro 111s. They're 18 inches by 8.5 inches. The tires are 235/40s, and I think the fitment is great. So to make that fitment good, the car is lowered on coilovers. These are the Raceland Ultimo coilovers. For middle of the road, kind of lower end coilovers, these are actually really good. The ride is a little bumpy, just like any coilover would be, but the height adjustment is awesome. Like, I've had this thing slam to the ground, almost tucking rim, and then I've had it all the way up with like an inch of wheel gap. So for the last thing, and probably the best thing I've done to this car, is the Stage 1 APR tune. Before I got it tuned, I heard a lot of people saying like APR is the best bang for your buck. The difference is night and day. And well, after having it tuned for almost 2 years, it is true. This car comes with 200 horsepower stock, and the car weighs a little over 3,500 pounds, so it's god awfully slow. With an intake and an exhaust, you can gain like 42 horsepower, which is a lot. So for 500 bucks roughly, and like 30 minutes of labor, it really is a good investment, and it wakes up your car. When I got the car tuned, I also got the APR mobile and the program switching. I have a video all about that, and I compare stock versus Stage 1, so you can go check that one out too. But for the performance of Stage 1, I'm super impressed. Like 2 days after getting it tuned, I was trying to go Stage 2, but apparently for this car, they got rid of Stage 2 and they just kind of made a Stage 1 plus, so that's what I have. So that's about it for the stuff I've done to this car. There's a lot more things I want to do to this car, so the mods are not ending there. If you have a similar car and you've made some changes also, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.